Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha, and today I'm having watermelon. Third one of these in a row. Actually, sixth one, which means I did three videos 2 days in a row. So, you guys can always tell if I'm doing one of these on a weekend. I only eat watermelon on a weekend ever. And you can tell if these were filmed on a Saturday or a Sunday. Not that I do that every weekend, but I digress. Over to the point. Talk about the sled drags. So I put up some sled drag stuff finally. Gosh, by the time this video is out, it might be 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Who knows? Put it up. As a lot of people requested it, which I thought was ridiculous. And we'll get into why I thought it was ridiculous, but I guess people don't know what they don't know. So some people looked at it and said, Coach, you're just walking with the sled. And I'm like, yes, because that's what sled drags are. Same thing with a prowler. You walk with the prowler. They're like, but that's just simple. We thought you'd be sprinting or doing intervals. Like, why would anyone think that? Is that what you guys think sled dragging is? Where did you get that idea? No, seriously, where did anyone get that idea? GPP, this isn't explosive training. My explosive work, I jump on a box. We do plyometrics. Med balls, boxes. Like, that's my explosive stuff. Sled is general physical preparedness. It's strength-based conditioning. You walk with a sled. Right? Either the distance or time roughly that you want, and you use the amount of weight that you need to get there. Right? You look at a sled drag similar to a barbell. If you're trying to get 20 reps, you need to have roughly a certain amount of weight on the bar to do 20 reps. And if you want to get 8 reps, it's going to need to be a lot heavier. Right? Basic idea. So the amount of weight you need on the sled to get fairly fatigued in the amount of time or rough distance or whatever you want to get. In sprint, you just walk. Which brings us to the point. I've had a lot of people who wanted me to show sled drags, like we need a tutorial, and I'm like, no, you don't. And I had people who were puzzled by those replies when I used to say that. Like, no, you don't need a tutorial on a sled drag. Because if you can't figure out how to drag a sled, someone else is typing for you. Because you're not intelligent enough, you're functioning at such a low level, you can't learn how to type or write. Like a person who is at that level, and I don't want to use the R word here, a person whose mental faculties are so low that someone has to teach you how to drag a sled, if you are able-bodied, I get it if you have a physical impairment that prevents you from walking, like, you're in a wheelchair, I get it, that's different. But that's not your mental faculties. If you are not intelligent enough to learn how to walk, how are you using a computer? That was my thought process, and I would say you don't, because you're not intelligent enough to type if you need someone to show you how to drag a sled. Like, your dog can figure out how to drag a sled. You hook a husky up to a sled. You know what? They can pull it. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. They were raised for that job. Husky can do it, why can't you? And I had people who were like, no, but people might pull wrong. What do you mean pull wrong? Well, some people don't know how to stand and they'll hurt their back. Like, you walk. And that's where the miscommunication was before, I guess, I put up a video. When you drag a sled, all you do You hook a harness around your waist, you hook a harness around your chest, or you just put straps over your shoulders and you walk with it. That's it. And you can't do it wrong. In other words, someone says, well, I could do it wrong. No. You try to do it wrong. Oh, it's going to hurt my back because you lean back or something. Well, the sled's not going to move. All you do is you lean forward enough to get the sled moving and you walk. That's all you do. That's all there is to it. And you shouldn't have to be told to lean forward because guess what? It's not going to work if you don't. Like either you pull the sled right or the sled just stays there on the ground and you're uncomfortable trying to jerk on it because you're in some bizarre position that's unnatural. But your natural position will be to just lean forward a little bit. Like no one's going to need to tell you that. It's what you're automatically going to do as soon as you go to pull on it. You realize, oh, I need to do this. No one's going to have to teach you that. I think maybe that's why there was a confusion. People didn't understand that you just walk with a sled or a prowler. And look at all these strength gyms all over the world. You see people doing that all the time. Look at video footage. Whether it's top level athletes at a professional sports facility, whether it's a starting strength gym. I've even seen the old DeFranco's videos way back in the day. Or Strong got his kids out there just walking with a sled. That's what a sled drag is. It's just strength-based conditioning work. And yes, a nice brisk walk pulling a heavy sled will get your heart rate way up. It will build muscle. But that's the point with GPP. That's why I tell people don't overthink GPP. Anything that has a skill component is not useful for GPP. Anything with a learning curve shouldn't be used for GPP. GPP is strength-based conditioning. So when you look at it that way, look at what the most difficult one might be barbell complexes. But you know what? You use such a light weight on barbell complexes that you can potato the weight up. Right? You can potato the weight into positions. Barbell complexes are probably the only form of GPP I recommend that has any skill component. But you just kind of muscle clean stuff up and row and do front squats and, overhead pressing and push pressing. And they can all be with bad form. Everything else, though, is zero skill. Because if it's got a skill component, it's not useful. You shouldn't need to learn how to do it for conditioning. Because it's not going to work. Because you need to be able to do something that when you're fatigued and can't move right anymore, you can continue to do it. So again, what do we mean? Dragging a sled, pushing a prowler, flipping a tire. Right? Your form doesn't have to be the same all the time. You'll figure out how to flip that tire. Beating a tire with a sledgehammer. Those are your big common forms of GBP. They're all low skill. You shouldn't need to be taught how to do them. You'll just do them and figure it out. That's why they work so well, is that you can figure out real fast on your own as soon as you start doing it how to do it. Straightforward. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.